I'm ready.
And we're
now.
live?
We are live.
And we're ready. Well, we're not live. I mean, imagine if we were live. It'd be rough. It'd be rough. Dan K Show, how is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Dan K alongside my man, Lucas Jones. Lucas, last time I saw you, we were rushing to a plane in Chicago to come back home and enjoy some beautiful northeast weather. How you doing, Lucas?
I'm doing great, Dan. I love when the weather gets warm because it makes my knee hurt less.
It makes his knee hurt less. This man is in a lot of pain, and I'm in a lot of pain when I miss this guy. 2 weeks in a row of no live Dan K Show. We're going fresh. We're going clean here. We're going Mr. Clean. Talking Mr. Clean off the air. The funnier Howie Mandel, we said. That was the consensus. We have some experts we're going to be bringing in a little bit. But first, Dan K's three things. Thing number one, it's playoff time, and we've got playoff predictions aplenty. We've got premier playoff predictions, and we've got Alex Jones and someone new to introduce you to. Lucas, who do we got in the show this week?
Well, I brought a friend of mine, Eleanor Davies, onto the show. She's been a show watcher for both seasons of the Dan K Show. She really wanted an opportunity to be on the show. And like we've told you every week in the Empty Net, you want to be on the show, you just let us know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say every weekend on the Empty Net we tell you don't put Twinkies on your pizza. That was the other thing I told you.
That's America. You do whatever you want.
Well, that's number two. Let's go to thing number three, and that's the Hampton Roads Whalers. They pull off a big-time win on the road, but you want to know what I want to talk about? The fan base of the Hampton Roads Whalers, Lucas. They had about 100 folks, and I don't want to trump it up. I don't want to say they had about 7 million folks at Hampton Roads Rink there, and they were watching the Hampton Roads Whalers play. It was incredible. It was fun to watch. It was huge. It was tremendous. And you just see the outpouring of love and affection from the fans of that team. They love their Hampton Roads Whalers, and the Hampton Roads Whalers moving on in the postseason. Big-time win for them in a 3-game series this weekend to start the playoffs. Lucas, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. We'll be right back with a little more Dan K Show. All right, we're back. Dan K Show talking USPHL Premier Playoffs. And oh boy, has it been a premier season. Second year in a row, Islanders Hockey Club wins the Founders Cup, the first seed going into the playoffs, Lucas. Home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. How important is that home ice advantage for them?
Oh, well, I'm sure they're just as happy to have home ice advantage as any one of these other teams would have been. But for them, it means being able to play on ice they're familiar with, driving to, traveling to, playing on, warming up in. It gives a real sense of comfort being on ice and being in a rink and an arena that you're familiar with.
And that's going to be something that could be the theme of these playoffs. But last year, home ice advantage was not enough for IHC. They were able to get to the finals, but they had to play in a neutral site rink where they lost to the Jersey Hitmen, who win basically every year at this point, the New England Patriots of the USPHL Premier. But, Lucas, this year, a little bit of a difference in the playoff format. We're going to have IHC, if they can win through to the finals, hosting that final series. How important is that now for IHC, and how might that change the dynamic of these playoffs?
Well, I think carrying home ice all the way through to the championship is going to be extremely important. Not only do we have all the things that I just mentioned, being able to travel, the travel not being as far, being familiar rink, but you also get to bring your own fans.
Yeah.
Fans that are used to making that journey to that rink to get to cheer on that home team.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be an exciting format. You got the Hitmen in second, Bruins in third, Stars in fourth. They're all guaranteed home series in the first round of these playoffs. But we have a little bit of a different format here. We've got the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds, Lucas, playing in this wild card round. I'm trying to learn about it. You're trying to learn about it. I think we have an expert who may have a little info for us. Are you going to kick it out there?
That's true. We have signed on for this show Eleanor Davies, who is our playoff picture expert. Eleanor, how you doing?
I'm doing real well. How about yourself?
We are doing great. So we're struggling a little bit with this new playoff thing. Some people at home might not be really familiar with how this new playoff is going to work. Break down what's going on with the 7th through 10th seeds.
In this setup, we have the 7th play against the 10th and the 8th play against the 9th seed. Of those 4, the highest seed will be now placed at 7th, and the second highest will be placed at 8th. This is a really good opportunity for all of our players because that gives you one extra game that, hey, you might not have had regularly. You get to get yourself in front of these scouts and play your heart out, knowing that this could be your last game. It's always a great motivator, giving you a lot of momentum. It takes you into the upcoming season if you can make it in, which we all hope you do. We love to see an upset. you can take that momentum into the playoffs. You don't have to worry about being rusty or tired. You're there and you're ready.
Now, you talk about the importance of being in front of scouts, Eleanor, and that's great. It's a great thing to say. I mean, these kids, that's what they're looking for. They're looking to play at the next level. We talked to all of them. They want to play at the collegiate level. But let's talk playoffs now. Let's talk trying to win a title. What's a positive a player might see from playing in a wild card game in the middle of the week here?
Like I've already said, momentum. It'll get you into the game, and you know better than I do that a lot of sports in general is entirely mental. If you can take yourself and get an upset and bring yourself into the playoffs towards the end, you're going to have that high of winning. You're going to be, having that killer instinct, and you'll know that you are just as valid as everybody else here. Everybody's skill level is very close, so you do have a very close shot of getting as far as you can take yourself.
All right, Eleanor, we've got 4 teams here playing. Now I'm going to ask you the tough question. Of these 4, which team do you think has the best chance to make a run in the playoffs?
I'm going to say the Flyers. They've won the last 6 of their 8 games, and like I said, that momentum is going to get in their heads, letting them know that they're champs. They're going to be able to take it all the way through and win.
Lucas, it's always good to have an expert's opinion on the wild card of the playoffs. I think I know a little more now after Eleanor broke it down for us. But now, let's get into a little deeper into this playoff conversation. We're going to go to the better-looking half of the Jones brothers, a guy who, ever since his first show, he said he's so happy that Dan invited him on. I've fallen in love with this guy. The #1 player in the history of Is It Static, Is It Music, or Is It Nothing on the radio. It's going to be someone special, Lucas. Why don't you intro him in?
Alex from Jonesy's Corner is going to help us break down the playoffs. Alex, how you doing?
Doing well. How you doing up there?
Doing all right out here. We hope it's just as nice in the very separate location that you are from where we are standing.
Yeah, very nice. 75 degrees and cool.
Down in Miami.
So, Alex, tell us, break down these matchups in the Premier Playoff.
Got a couple matchups planned for us so far. Bruins versus the Kings. The key to this one for the Bruins, they play a very physical brand of hockey, so they're going to have a lot of fun going up against the Kings. For the Kings, they're going to want to make the most out of every opportunity they get, especially the power play goals. For the next matchup, the Rangers-Stars, they're going to have the Stars home advantage. It's going to be a very close game. Probably come down to a couple goals going either way. Very fundamental game. And it's going to really come down to both teams making sure that they execute their game plans to perfection.
All right, now, Alex, we've got IHC and the Hitmen waiting to see what their matchups are going to look like. They might not be playing any hockey, but what's their key for this week?
The two teams, the IHC and the Hitmen, they really need to stay ready throughout this little stretch where they don't have a game. They need to stay loose, be prepared, stay fundamentally sound, be ready to execute the game plan when it does come time to get the skates on and skate around. Keep the energy high for the entirety of the playoffs. You're definitely going to get and keep team morale at a very, very high point.
Alex, I'm not going to make you pick a winner of the Premier League right now, but I'm going to ask you this question. Kings, Junior Rangers, of the 2 lower seeds in the 3, 6, 4, 5 matchups, which one has a better shot to win in your mind?
Well, I believe if I had to pick one team, the Rangers. I got to go with the Rangers. Just the style of play that you see on the ice day in and day out, the way that they play hockey, their exciting brand of hockey, and just they're fun to watch. When they're out on the ice, they're fundamentally sound and scoring goals, passing it to perfection. I'm going to have to go with the Rangers on this one.
Lucas, again, Alex and I vibing. You know, this could be the Alex Jones show for all I care at this point, because Jonesy and I, we vibe. We vibe on those Connecticut Junior Rangers. We vibe on the games we play in the car, riding up to all these events. It's always fun talking to Alex Jones, and we're going to have him again on the show here as we make some predictions coming up next.
Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't
Lately I've been feeling like a renegade, somebody save me. Standing in the midst of the crowd, but nobody sees me. Shouting at the top of my lungs, but nobody hears me. All in the name of love. Look what you made me. I've been praying for the rain to fall. Wash me down so I reborn. Open heavens, let it pour. You can love me again, again, again. You better love me again.
In my Chris Berman chair here at the beautiful Mountain View Crossing. You know, it's a beautiful set that we have set up here today, Lucas. But we have one more topic to cover, and that's going to be the USP3 and Elite playoffs. How excited are you about these matchups?
Pretty excited, Dan. You know, we've already talked about the premier level playoffs, but I think the USP3 and the elite levels give us a little bit more playing style diversity, considering all the different geographical regions are represented.
Diversity, as we all know at home, is an old wooden ship, and we I don't know where that comes into play, but I will tell you one thing: there is a ship at stake here, and it is a championship at both of these levels, Lucas. The Elite, the USP3, these teams are playing hard right now. At the elite level, you've got the Midwest, the North, and the South. The Midwest, for me, they've been my guys. They've been the guys that have been fun to watch at this level. The North and the South, incredible talent. But the Midwest seems to have that winning edge. Last year, you saw them bring home the title in their first year with the league. Second year in the league, will it happen again? Let's find out. We've got Alex, we've got Eleanor, we have Lucas, and we have Dan K, all making our predictions for who we think is going to win the USP3 and Elite levels. Will start with the Elite because, well, the name says itself. Elite play this year, Lucas. Who do you got?
I got Dell's Ducks. You know, I know that we've talked a lot about the Midwest. We had a visit out to the Midwest this year. I just like the style of hockey they play in the Midwest. You know, it's very physical hockey. They are in your face all the time. You know, the North plays very balanced, the South plays very open. I think Midwest hockey, and specifically Dell's Ducks, are going to be able to really sort of corner the ice. They're going to be able to make the ice much, much smaller than I think all of the other teams would like it to be.
They're the most aggressive Ducks I've ever seen. You know, quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth, Ducks fly together. Anything I can do. I just love tweeting about this team, so every time Dells wins, I'm happy because it gives me something else to tweet about. But Alex?
Yes.
We tweeted, we talked about Ducks, we've talked enough birds. Who do you got? Elite level.
I have to go with the Charlotte Rush on this one, Dan. Just the style of play.
Don't rush your pick.
They're rushing me to my pick. Their play has put them at the top of my list. Watching them, it's incredible to just see the way that they play hockey down south. I have to go with the Charlotte Rush on this one.
It's fun team, fun team, fun team. But now we go to our postseason bracket expert here, Eleanor. We learned a little bit about the premier playoffs from you, but now we're going to see how well you can pick in the elite level. Who do you got winning a title?
I've got to go with the Hitmen. I mean, I'm from Jersey, and it's all about putting goals in the net, so I think that they're a really good team to go with.
I'll tell you what, the Jersey Hitmen know how to score goals. They know how to win championships. They seem to do it every single year at every single level. But I got a team here that is regal, a monarchy of the river. You know what I mean? The leaders of the water, the kings of the river. And these are the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. We went out to Chicago personally to watch this team play. And when I saw the play in net for the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings, they say the Willy Wonka phrase that I love to quote every time I see a shutout: you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. And that's what they're saying to every team. You cannot score in the River Kings, and if they put up any offense come playoff time, they're bringing home a title. My pick in the elite, the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. Bring home that championship, and let's celebrate on some cheese. Let's eat some cheddar. Cheddar aside, Lucas, let's move on to the USPA 3 level and see who you got here. In the USP 3, we've got a lot of teams in the running. We've got the North, we've got the South, we've got the Midwest, and we have the Pacific. The Pacific's first year, I don't think they're getting one. What do you guys think? Lucas, we'll start with you again.
Well, USP3 has been such a great division this year. It's been so much fun to watch. We have, 4 divisions, the new Pacific Division. They've done a great job playing some great hockey out there. There's just been so much good hockey that it's really difficult to narrow it down to one team, but I have done that. I'm going to go with the Traverse City North Stars on this one. Their offense has just been so spectacular.
Yep.
It's hard to look at numbers that they've put up and not pick them to win a championship when you put up numbers like that, game after game, and you're so good in net, and the defense is so aggressive. I know I talk a lot about that Midwest style of hockey, but, I am what I am, Dan, and what I am is a fan of that style hockey, so I have to go with the North Stars.
Apparently, the Midwest has something on Lucas because Lucas is picking Midwest each and every chance he gets. Alex, what do you got?
Going with the Hitmen, Dan. Gotta go with the Hitmen.
The second Hitman pick here. You have a Hitman pick at each level.
Yeah, that's how good they are. I mean, they, like I said, the style of hockey that they play, being from New Jersey with a name like Hitman, I mean, they're probably going to go out and hit some men.
That's what they're going to do. Eleanor?
I'd say the Florida Junior Blades.
Solid pick. You know what? And I got to go with Eleanor here because she's picking my team with my poutine-eating brethren from France, from Montreal, Quebec. He speaks French. He's not from France. But, je voudrais a championship. I would like a championship,
Yeah.
Eleanor, what would
Oui,
you have to say to him?
vraiment, je suis en accord avec vous parce qu'ils ont gagné 43 à contre de 1 perte. Et puis, je pense qu'ils veulent gagner tout.
Je suis au fromage, and okay, yeah, they're good. They were 43-1. Very, very strong performance.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing you can really say against 43-1. I give you a little breath to recover from that linguistic episode you just had there.
Was it tongues?
I got to back up Alex's pick a little bit too. I know we can back up our picks here, but I think you've always said never bet against the Hitmen.
Never.
The Hitmen organization, which Alex is watching, we've been watching, is just great from top to bottom. So I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if the Hitmen make it either, but I'd be a little bit more surprised because I think I'm right on this one.
So it sounds like Lucas thinks he's right. Eleanor and I with the correct pick already with the Florida Junior Blades, and you can see who the experts are on the panel. But Alex, always intelligent, always happy to have you here. Lucas, before we close out, let's talk postseason. What is this time of year like for these players?
It's fun.
Yeah.
If I had to bring the postseason down into one word for these guys, it's fun. It's what they've been working for all year.
Yeah.
All of the hours in the gym, all the hours on the ice, all the games, all the training camp, all the footage, all the practices. It all comes down to this. And I know that's such a cliched way of talking about the playoffs, but it is true. All of us on this panel have played sports before. We played sports growing up. Some of us have played sports in college. This is what you play for. You play for the playoffs. You play to have a chance to hoist that championship trophy and say, we did it. We went the farthest. We were the best.
I always did it so I could say I did it. I was the best. I've gone the farthest. But, I mean, to each their own, right? Tomato, tomato. But, folks, the playoffs come here. The playoffs have arrived. We've seen the first round of the USP3 and Elite playoffs. We see some great action going on. Lucas and I may be making a run over to the Youth Championships coming up over here in Wayne, New Jersey. And we're just excited. We're excited to see who brings home a title. I'm always rooting for my Hampton Roads Whalers out there. We saw some great stuff from them. We've seen some great stuff throughout the league. And with that in mind, I think we move on to our parting words here. Eleanor, we'll start with you. Do you have any parting words for the folks at home?
I do. I wish everybody good luck. And Lucas, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. So.
Very nice parting words. I always like parting words that attack Lucas.
Yes.
That's +1.
Yes.
Alex going for +2.
I'm just signing off as the better-looking Jones brother. That's about it.
That's about it. That's all he needed. That's all he had to say, and he gets the job done. Lucas, you have a chance to respond here. What are your parting words? Lucas does what he always does and just sums it all up into a beautiful word. And in the words of Lucas and Chris Berman, And that's what I have to say about the playoffs, Lucas, because we're going back, gone to see who wins something here. I'm excited to watch. At the beginning of the year, if you remember, Josh Boyd and I put together an article explaining who we thought would win the title. And someone here picked the Boston Junior Bruins. And at one point this year, it seemed a little scary. It seemed a little worrisome in that premier level. But it looks like you got to check your Pulsinellis, folks. Because in the nick of time, Nick Pulsinelli joins the Boston Junior Bruins. They start winning ball games, and we're going to see if this guy's pre-season prediction comes true. Boston Junior Bruins, prove me right. USPHL, stay beautiful. Let's watch some playoff hockey. And remember, when Dan K's on the mic, it's always hockey night.
Why are you giving out points for people to pick against me? Why is it always?
Because that's
it's
a
always
fun thing
phrased
to do.
in against.
Because
me.
the folks at home, they need a villain, and they need a hero.
It's not that much. He's just an easy target.
That's the thing too. That's the thing.
Well,
It's not even
I'm
a
an easy,
villain, 'cause,
I'm
like,
an easy target because he knows my last words are always nothing, because I have nothing more to say after I've already said everything.
I didn't say anything mean. I said nothing but nice things about you. Pleasantries.
Yeah, no, I have the footage.
Pleasantries, toiletries.
Yeah, no, I have all the trees.
Redwood trees.
You're also actually very lucky that both premier, predictions, and preseason all start with pre, because then when you screw up and
I
start
screwed
with
up multiple times.
you can just finish the word that you actually need to say. So you
Almost.
go pre. Wait, what was I talking about again? Oh, right. Now I got it.
Well,
Almost
that's
everything
a
I
skill.
do
He
is
did that
mistake.
on purpose.
See, that's
Don't-
it.
no,
It's a
don't
test.
start doing
it's more of a. It's more of a test.
He doesn't need any more of an ego trip than he already has.
It's more of a test. You know, the greatest people in the world have had huge egos. There's never been anything bad that has come of having a huge
Huge
ego.
egos.
And huge.
Huge.
Nothing bad has ever happened.
You know what's
Huge
better
egos.
than a huge ego?
What?
A huge ego.
Oh, man, I could go for some waffles. And with that in mind, we're going to go get some food.